And to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Everybody need a minute to review the minutes? Anyone see any additions or corrections? Not, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion to approve.
Ashley makes a motion to approve.
A second.
Deanna seconds. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Mr. Howe?
Further State Board of Accounts, I'll come to you again with the grant proposal for 2025-1. We're going to go after chip and seal this following year. Call opens January 2nd and ends the 31st. Grant is for $1.5 million with a $500,000 match. So I went before the commissioners and asked them, and if this form is actually filled out, I need your signature on there. And actually, the dollar amount and all the information that I didn't fill out on the other ones is on that particular document.
That approves the 500,000.
Yes.
Amount requested 500,000 for 2025. Everybody get that, or you want to see it?
Our projection is probably going to be about 115 to 120 miles of roads that we chip and seal.
Entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
Bill makes a
I'll
motion.
second.
Ernie seconds. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
You need this back or Janet?
Jan, we should sign that.
Okay. Mindy's not here.
She also needs this too.
She is sick.
Pardon?
Yeah, he kept us. Everybody else.
Okay. Mr. Durbin.
Good morning.
Can't see with the glasses down when I walk up here, and can't read without. I'm here to talk about the HFI money, so I'm asking you for money, I'm bringing this money. I had better, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
So this is the budget as turned into the state, which has been approved by the state. There it is.
Sean, may I have one?
If I had an extra one, I would, but I only made 7. I could get this, you said, all right?
Okay.
And then Abby's got the. Yeah, form 1. All right, so this is how we've allocated the money. I'm happy to announce that a great deal of this money is going back to the community. Of course, we do have some payroll expenses and several equipment type items to help us serve the community. We did allow extra money for any kind of building needs we might have. And then we are looking at purchasing a van for 2025 because our van is starting to nickel and dime us to death. It's got 135,000 miles on it. It's 14 years old or 13 years old. So we are looking at that. And then in addition, we have allocated, I gotta find it here to get you the right amount. $124,599.66 for our community partners. Now, these will be in the form of grants to our community partners. We have a grant committee that awards those based on how it helps public health in particular. Well, public health and in particular helps us reach the goals that are set for us in the Health First Indiana protocols. So we have certain key performance indicators that we're supposed to meet, and we are looking for ways to help advance those. And everything in this is to help us get to those KPIs. And I'm happy to address specific questions.
So this is where you're going.
That's correct. Yes. This is the form that we use to turn in.
The grants can be used for salary.
It can't be.
What was the total grant?
$517,794.29. And it's set up in such a way, everything has to go through the state. Every expense on here is approved by the state. What we have to do is make sure we have a 60-40 split. 60% on preventative medicine and then 40% for regulatory, which falls, that's more or less the environmental side of things. So that's where we're allowed to use it for salaries and that kind of thing. So they actually are paying 100% of the nurse's salary, 100% of an environmental health specialist salary. There are some other increases in salary in here as well.
The catch is going forward, the state has to keep approving that in their budget, so.
Well, yeah, there's no guarantee. This could be the last one. I certainly hope.
That's for salaries, whether or not.
Unfortunately, and everybody who's on this realizes that that's a possibility. I mean, I made that very clear when I hired. I don't hire anybody. If it's a grant funded position, I'll hire them without telling them. That's only fair. I think it'll be approved again, but you never know what legislature is going to do.
So the state's already approved this,
Correct.
and then you got to look at those as a funding in your health clinic.
That's where that 124,000 comes from. We did give them a grant already this year, $5,000 grant to help buy their dental equipment.
Yeah.
And I have encouraged them to apply again. I think our missions are so similar, our missions are identical. But they're a terrific partner for us. And it's possible also that we could fund some things for them as a partner rather than just a grant. So we look forward, I've talked to them significantly about them being a significant partner for us.
We need a motion to approve.
Make that motion.
Kenny makes a motion to approve the budget for the grants. Deanna seconds. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you all
You
very
need
much.
signatures on this or? Yes.
And it does. I need a signature on the,
Oh, yes, please.
From all of us, Dan?
All of your existing president, just for you on that.
I'll go have everybody's.
With the photos.
It looks a little more official. Okay. Janet Howe.
Good morning. I had advertised for a part-time position that I had open in our office. And we only received 3 applications, and even of the 3, we really only had one more qualified candidate, and they would prefer full-time. It's very hard to find a good part-time that will stay. I found the quality of persons inquiring for a full-time position versus part-time honestly is a much better fit, and they plan to stay long-term. And so now I've decided that I think it's going to be in our best interest if we ask for another full-time deputy back that we had lost a couple of years ago. Everything, like our caseload keeps increasing, check work being filed, jury cases, we've taken over the jury again. We are going through an IRS audit for child support. They have decided to start doing that every 2 years now. And there's a lot they're requiring us to do, a lot more trainings they're going to require us to do as well. Just we're having trouble keeping up if someone's off with PTO or vacation, where you're constantly, at the counter on the phones, document requests, and I just think it's going to be in our best interest if we could hire a full-time deputy so that we could have an assistant to the election deputy and jury administrator, backup bailiff as well. I was unaware when I started this that it needed to be published for 10 days before I could bring this to you. Until yesterday is when I found that out. So I did write up the letter and give it to Janet so they could be published for the 10 days. So apparently it needs to be brought back to you at the next meeting to actually be able to vote on that as well. Unfortunately, I realized I am going to be out of the country that day and I'm not going to be here. I can send someone else on my behalf, but I was wondering if there's any way you could even tentatively discuss it today. And then if it was a possibility, it looks like it was going to be approved, maybe I could at least interview someone and get the process started so that if they would be approved, they could go ahead and put in their notice and I could start someone like the end of January, 1st of February.
The only thing I've got is I wish this had come up at budget.
I agree. That would have been a lot.
Brought to us in July or August.
Yeah, I've been trying to do this with part-time to supplement, and we did hire part-time, and that did not work out well. So we've lost that part-time, and it's hard to find someone in our office with all the confidential things and everything that they're going to be required to do and all the training. And it's hard to keep spending that money on them when we lose them.
How much part-time pay you got?
It broke down into 3 different budgets. So there's for next year, I believe there's 45,000 in one and 5,000 in the election, I believe.
So you wouldn't need any part-time at all.
I would keep the part-time that I have now, because they're still scanning the files, but I wouldn't hire any more part-time.
So that 45,000 you have in budget for next year, is that paying the part-time person that you have now?
Correct. Yes, and she's in nursing school, so her schedule varies, and I know she won't be there after a couple of years.
We don't have any questions.
So the extra workload, did that just come on?
It's just gradually just keeps getting busier and busier. There, they've added a new judge, so we've got 3 judges now, and then protective orders, they're just get worse. So, I mean, the caseload is just increasing, and now we also took on jury, and there's a lot with the jury. We have to send out, quarterly letters, and then also during jury, we're sitting there as bailiffs, and then we lose a deputy during the day and then it's good to have a backup bailiff as well.
When did you get assigned to have to do that?
We started January of last
You had it all year.
year. Yeah, so then you realize what all you're doing. That's when you realize how much you've taken on.
You just have one part-timer now.
And then one seasonal.
We else have anything?
So we basically be adding a full-time because your part-time's already been spent out of the part-time money, right?
Correct.
So that money couldn't be put over on the full-time person.
I could try to take some of that and make that work if we needed to.
Is there any way the full-time person can take over for what the part-time person is doing?
The only thing is I really need to get those files scanned as well. It's in the basement. We're trying to still get all of those scanned. There's still thousands of files in there that we're trying to scan and get so we can shred.
Whatever
Nice.
comes in the end, I mean, it's heard that all the scanning.
Have you been down there to see how
No.
many we have? I mean, if you could see how many we have, you can ask Patty. We have taken bundles and bundles of files that have been done. And so they're constantly working on it. It will eventually, but it's a project. It's a huge project.
Is it more efficient to have a company do that, do you think, or the way you're doing it?
So the thing is that all of ours is confidential. And that's one thing our IRS audit is trying to ding us on, is that they don't need
I can understand if you've gotten this workload dumped on you like in the last 2 or 3 months, but you've been doing it all year. I mean, all of a sudden,
Is it gonna be better next year because there isn't an election?
No, it'll be a little different because there won't be the election, but we still need to train someone to do all of that. And I'm still currently training the 2 new people that we already have. There's a lot, and then the IRS is adding a lot to it as well. And that's really pulling what I find deputies trying to get all of this stuff, done. And then we also just went through a child support audit as well. So it's just, it is a lot, and we didn't realize how much jury was gonna take until you do it.
Beyond that and that 3rd judge, and now it's all.
Yeah,
I realize.
Yeah.
That's gonna be kind of hard.
so the one part, with the part-time that we have, she's only there like a couple days a week, and we have her doing like document checks or document requests for the public, like email them and then trying to shred as well. Like it's hard to pull her in different directions and sort of stuff.
so a part-time person you were trying to hire, what kind of money did you have set aside to pay that person? Was it coming out of that $45,000?
Yes.
Do you know how much of that would? Well, I guess my question is, how much of that can we move over to a full-time person if you're not gonna hire a
That
part-time?
was my clue. I was gonna estimate what you got on use on part-time.
I could,
Obviously, it could be moved.
I could probably do like 20,000.
So half of it, not quite half of it.
Yeah.
And then the 5,000 in elections,
That pays the seasonal, that helps the shred off the files. I'd really like to keep that if we could.
Well, I don't think we consider it in the 2nd week of December
start adding full-time positions, I think that's something that needs to be looked at budget time and
I agree.
justified. I mean, you already got money for part-time help, sure, you find somebody.
So I can't do anything till January anyway, so. We want to move to January. The only issue I have is, and I'm not saying anything against you, Janet, but you know, you've been doing this work all year. I would have thought we would have seen it coming at budget time. Maybe not, I don't know, but it's, you know, all the stuff that you've had added to it. I mean, you have had work added, there's no question about that, but.
Well, we had hired a full-time, part-time person at that point during budget time. Not realizing how that was not going to work out.
Okay. And I understand that part of it. But the thing is, you know, now we're looking at putting $50-some thousand more dollars on our salary.
On the salary.
What is it up?
Salary, that's part of it. You got benefits.
That's what I'm saying. If you got benefits in there, it's almost $50-some thousand.
Yeah, the total is $47,835.90.
And you can take the 20 out if you need out of the part-time.
And who took care of the jury duty before?
Before,
We had a part-time person.
and we had a part-time person.
So none of theirs, I mean, they're not doing that, then expenses.
So we never gave the money back.
They gave the money back. So they should do it.
That was a big disruption.
Yes, it was.
When the court
Well,
stopped doing
yeah.
that.
So you had a good one.
So that's a good benefit to have that back in the clerk's office. We're happy with that, you know.
The clerk did it and then abruptly stopped with no warning.
Yeah, right.
And so Janet took it back on herself.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they moved it there.
By statute, they don't have to do it. Okay, Tim.
We found that out.
Any other discussion? How does everybody feel? I still feel like it's probably been something brought up at budget time. That's just me. I'll go from there.
The way I feel, I'm not gonna vote for anything this time of year.
Ash, got an opinion? I count on you.
I know you do. I think if, even if you're not here, if whoever comes in for you could bring in the increase. So some things, any numbers that you have, how it's changed,
Okay,
just to see what the increase is.
okay. And I don't know, I kind of presented that like at the meeting before, when we were just discussing $50,000. I don't know if you remember that, all the numbers that I have. With everything that we started taking on. Notarizing, like I had how many documents we notarize now, and there's.
So, I mean, if we had all of that to look at again in regard to this.
Okay.
Yeah, what that 30 is.
We'll take a look at it in January then. Everybody opinion?
Until January.
Okay. Fine. Okay. Good. Mr. D. Hall.
Well, good morning, everybody. Basically just gonna relay the information and updates that I did yesterday for the Warren County Commissioner Committee. First off, again, I want to congratulate somebody knows Teresa. She's gonna get embarrassed again. She celebrated 40 years of Parks Department last week, so.
Thank you, Beach. No,
Thank you.
Thank you, Rob.
I just want to give you an update on what's going on in the complex. So starting with the back four diamonds, our parks board voted last week on a contractor for the back four just to redo those in dirt. That money was, the money reason for that was awarded to the redevelopment commission. We had three very competitive bids. Obviously, it was decided to go with Brad Schutte. Completing the work on that, he was probably right in the middle of like, two guys pretty close on the dirt. Brad had some benefit with going through pulling back gravel out from the playing surface, then resodding some of those areas for us, which he is going to allow us to do that in a piece by piece basis as needed. So, and that was all within our budget, the numbers that we budgeted for the money from RDC. So we'll come out ahead on that in the end. As far as the front four diamonds go, if you've been past the complex, they're well on their way. Probably a little bit ahead of schedule right now, I would say. It's, I know a lot of them thinking that the weather play into it, but Brad is moving right along on doing the groundwork for AstroTurf out there. Will be delivered on a semi on January 6th, and we're hoping that all four diamonds will be ready to go. So they're going to start doing their piece, and we'll still meet our deadline of April 1.
You got tournaments lined up already?
Yeah, 14 officially confirmed. We're booked almost every weekend from April 11th till the end of July. And then we got another one in October already, but I would assume as their seasons go August to August in softball in Triple SA, I assume once we start discussions in May again and they start playing on the surface, we'll probably pick up a few more after their next season starts in August. And then hopefully we keep that relationship built with them and it'll keep going every year.
What was the total project? How much?
Total project, should know that number. So I broke it into phases. The total project.
Yeah, like what's the back diamonds? What's the,
So that I broke it into phases. So the front four was like 749,000. And there was phase 2A and phase 2B. The total of those phase 1, 2A, and 2B. Phase 3 was just doing turf on the back four. So that's, we'll as we start generating revenue, things like that, and we'll start thinking about what we're going to do there. But as for those, it was right around 1.3, 1.4 million. But that also includes things that we're hoping to get money for. The inclusion trail or the sensory pad trail that's going to link the parking lots together. Everything we're going to do with that RDC money, which is, helping us pave the lot, like the gravel lot, building another concession, restroom area, things like that. So all those things are in place right now too. Just waiting on estimates back on those pieces.
with all this going on, will there be diamonds available for our local youth to play on this summer?
There is. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. This does not exclude our rec leagues whatsoever. They're primary. That's a priority for me. That's that's one thing we want to do this for is obviously for their benefit. It's within our calendar. The tournaments will have their 2 or 3 days off the weekends, but those other days are our rec league days, and they will have. Yeah, we're in. Teresa and I are in contact with the boards, baseball and softball boards out there, and they're well aware of everything that's going on, and they're part of all the things, all the decisions we're making. So.
In fact, part of your goal is to defray their cost overall.
Yeah, Jeremy brought it up yesterday. I think it wasn't here, but he brought it up. He presented to our Rotary Club yesterday, and there's one thing that he brought up again. It's one thing that I forget to talk about enough is hopefully we see enough benefit from this that we can counteract the cost of what it is for kids to play. Because that's one complaint that I think our boards get is you pay so much to play. Well, where's that money go? And Teresa and I had no say on where that money goes. I think we don't control those boards. So hopefully at some point that we could offer reduced or free play for kids in our county.
With that being said, we are working to reorganize the leagues and have a better understanding and bringing a lot back to the Parks Department where we will oversee more of it and have a better idea of what's going on and how things are ran, and we'll give input and work together. Our goal is to actually increase the number of kids back out to the Diamonds playing to make it affordable so everyone has an opportunity to be able to play out there. Summer recreation is something we need to focus on, not all competitive, but just general fun summertime. That's what we're missing. So we're hoping to just make that something that's growing again in numbers.
Yeah, with the addition of the turf out there, obviously we see interest from the travel organizations, but I think that you'll see an increase in our rec league members as well this year.
Exciting.
It will be.
Else have any questions?
That's it.
Yeah, man.
Hey, guys. Have a Merry Christmas.
Mr. Brown? Hey, juvenile probation officer.
Okay, good morning. We just want to give you an update on our second juvenile probation officer position. I've got Jeremiah here, our primary juvenile probation officer. You granted us that second position 2 years ago. Had everything set up. One applied, was qualified to take the job, so it went unfunded. It was funded, but went unspent for an entire year. Then the second year, we on replacing primary juvenile probation officer, which we did, and kind of get that again, as far as do you think you need a second? Are you going to, I'll let him hire the second, and figure out what his needs were. So the second year, we did not utilize that position. We did bring someone on board to do some programming, some classes, get trained, and then put some classes on for the youth, and that went very well. The person that Jeremiah found to do that was the same person that I was hoping would apply for the second position anyway. She hadn't at that point. So at budget time, I think we came in and just asked, can we bring this person on part-time? 25 hours, I think, a week is what we've been paying her. She just wasn't quite ready to make the commitment to a full-time position. So she's been on board the rest of this quarter. It's gone very well as far as what I'm hearing. She's now interested in taking the position full-time. They want to offer it to her full-time, and she's a good fit from what I hear. So that's what we're here for today. It's just to let you know that we are ready to bring her on full-time. In the interim, Jeremiah is kind of paid for himself. He's applied for and received a grant of $73,000, which we're going to put that money toward this person's salary before we use any of the monies that you provided to us in the budget. But that past budget meeting, I think this year, we can come to you this year, budget time, and let you know where we stand as far as the grant. But the grant money has to be spent first. That's part of the terms of it. So it's going to be applied toward her salary. Her salary will be a first year probation officer salary, whatever the state scale is. Part of the problem with getting someone to apply for that job was it only paid $38,000, and you have to have a 4-year college degree to qualify. So this didn't match up. I think it is up now to 42. So that would be your salary, but we're not needing any money. The grant will suffice for that. And its position, you've always thought just happy, so we didn't bill it. I think we've kept you updated all along. I don't know, Janet, whether there's a vote involved in it. I don't know that there's anything they need to approve.
Then what about her benefits?
She's not taking health insurance, and then like in her little bit of the money that's already been approved, and then we're not asking for any new money. It's just making you aware of bringing her.
For the grant?
It's the, should know, down. It's the Indiana Criminal Justice Institute, the juvenile diversion grant. So the money, the idea of the money is to bring in those programs into rural communities.
Look like a grant's gonna stick around for a while.
Yeah, it really seems so. I think it's been around a while, and it really feels like we can renew it. It's a 2-year grant, so we would have 2 years. And I think what we would do in those 2 years is just continue to secure more grant funding. Ideally, to just keep paying for it that way, if we can.
And you wrote it?
I did. Thank you.
So that's what we just want to let you know. This is what we're doing. And again, I feel like we've kept you up to date on what we've done with that position, but we haven't used the money you've given us essentially for 2 years. So we're well healed as far as financing of it. And hopefully it'll carry forward. pretty much pay for itself. What we intend to do with, Tracy Maxwell that we're hiring, what we intend to do, she's going to be primarily, school liaison. She's going to put on programming in the schools, help Jeremiah with the caseload, but he's going to be very much involved with public educational programming. Is what we've really never had, but what she did this last year for them was well received, so I think the direction to go in.
And she, I mean, just to brag on her, Tracy spends a lot of time, I think she's currently working with, I don't know, maybe around 10 or 15 kids. What she does is she advocates for expulsion hearings, helps these kids that are looking at, alternative education situations. She helps them find jobs. She helps them get enrolled with getting their driver's license. What I wanted to do when I came here was, figure out what they needed, and eliminate those barriers. And we spent a lot of time helping these kids stay in school, helping them find jobs, helping them find mental health services. And really, this is kind of everybody. It's not just particularly you get in trouble, but are you at risk of being in trouble? So I think this is going to benefit the community in the long run. We're going to get these kids through school and then ultimately success.
Okay, do we have to vote? Well, it was approved in the budget last couple of years, correct?
Unless you were just going to vote on an additional employee to Decatur County. They would be under, it's just the umbrella.
Make it official. Okay. Entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
Anna makes the motion. Mel seconds. Any other questions or concerns? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay, thank you very much.
2025 salary ordinance. Okay. Christie, you want to kind of explain the surveyor to us? I read that.
We learned at a conference that the surveyor's salary has to be unregistered, and then the registered salary both has to be on the salary. It doesn't matter which one you're paying that. Or it doesn't depend on which one you're paying at, it's just they both have to be on there.
Okay.
And what's the difference? What's the difference there?
We approved the 24,614. And what was it, 1.5 times or something like that?
A licensed surveyor should be paid
So what's the difference between registered and non-registered?
all this schooling.
That's
A lot of surveyors are not.
Right.
licensed.
Not licensed. It's the difference between a licensed or unlicensed.
So what dictated that though was we said 24,000. So if we wouldn't have said 24,000, if we would have said 16,000 or whatever, it would have been less. Basically, had we known that before.
Well, I think we approved 24,614.
Right.
That's my opinion. That needs to be approved. If we get pushback from the state.
So we have to leave both of them on there? We just got to decide which one we're going to pay now,
Correct.
which I think we already did that on the budget.
Yeah, we did that on the budget, okay. Good. Really no total on here, is there? Total.
No.
We usually adjust this thing about 3 or 4 times a year too, correct?
Yes, correct.
Everybody get a chance to look at it. I'm going through it. That's the only question I had. If anybody else has any questions, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion to approve.
I say makes a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Bill seconds. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
So I do need everyone's on one. Make
Yeah, I got it here. Okay, I'm signing that. So, everybody get a chance to look at the transfers? That $57,000 transfer on you, on Janet, is that a election
We need new pool pads.
or
We need new pool pads. And so this would be a great time to go out and get those purchased.
Did you get the voting machines? Paul?
We would pay the initial payment, down payment, and then the rest will go next year.
anybody else have any questions? Not too bad for the end of the year.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I'll make some motion we approve as presented.
Jenny makes a motion to approve. 30 seconds. Any other? Yeah. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Any opposed? Good. Additional. Okay. First one I got here laying in front of me is from the solar eclipse to the fairgrounds. Which is $300 for office supplies coming from ARPA and $54.60 coming from ARPA for Fairgrounds Administrative Board. This was due to bad mathematics. Bad math. This, if you put this back in the fairgrounds account, we don't lose any money. If you don't, the fairgrounds is $3,036 and all. Is what it amounts to from the solar eclipse that was supposed to pay for itself. And it did. I think everybody's aware of what went on.
ARPA just cleaned it up.
ARPA cleaned it up for us. Anybody want to discuss or talk? Not on table.
That's not,
Do what, Kenny?
no,
Oh,
It's just cash.
oh, this is where we're,
yeah, that's.
this is,
That's
where
the
we're- this is the other.
Before.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought it was in ARPA.
No,
Oh, my bad. This is just one from before where we refused to pay it, so we're still $3,036 and all.
So does this clean up the solar eclipse budget and it's zero
We
now?
did out, zeros it out, they spent, I gave it this
So they end up
organization,
losing the money overall. Yeah.
I gave the organization that helped $7,844. Should give them about, not quite 4,000. So this,
So basically, this went to power the past.
Exactly.
Yeah.
well, I wasn't gonna say that. That's where I'm at. I'm trying to be nice about it, but yeah, it lost, fairgrounds lost money on solar eclipse.
But I think part of the past did show up with people and
Yeah, they did help, and stuff. They did help.
did.
yeah, but I don't think anybody else was asked to help, so
And it's
I
just
can't vote.
bad math.
well, I kind of like Billy, I don't think we need to appropriate pay it, compare. Comes
That's
out
nothing.
fairgrounds money, I mean, that was their deal, so.
We leave that in the red, what's that do to the? Nothing.
Nothing other than if the state board of accounts writes us up for it next year.
State Board of Council, right, yeah.
the whole fund itself is still in the pot for appropriation.
This is all, it's really all been spent, correct?
Power of the past should never been paid till
I think they thought all the bills had been paid. And then.
Yeah, the insurance, I knew the insurance came in late, but
They used the
somebody
wrong
should
line,
check.
so I understood correct. They used the deadline instead of the
Yeah.
other line.
Well, no.
Why is this paid out of the paragraph? Why couldn't it be paid out of something else?
We approved for them to use money out of the fairgrounds account, up to so much, and then we were supposed to get our money back. Well, no. And they used, instead of using the income line, they used the debt line and divided it out, gave it to them.
Does this include in the 5,000 from the tourism? What happened to that? I mean, that
I
was,
never did see a receipt on it.
It never came to our funds, whatever bills they gave tourism,
Yeah,
tourism paid
okay.
for out of that.
So if we, State Board of Accounts is gonna ding us on that, if it's in the red. What you're saying, Chris?
like,
Slaps on the hands.
If they choose to look. Because like I said, the fund itself is going to be positive. If they choose to dig into, they pick different things to look at each year. If they choose to dig into it, then
So then what happens then? Do we have to fund it then?
no, just to write that.
We just get a red flag.
I've sat in on
give
treasury.
them something easy to find it.
They've not for something to write yet.
Is it safe to say that because a lot more people that vote, they will probably take a look at that?
It's hard to say. Every year, they come in with different things on the agenda to look at.
They pick a different
They pick a different area
account to
every year.
look. A few years ago, it was Lake McCoy Conservancy. They looked at it.
Well, I don't feel like the fairgrounds should do. Board should be held on the hook for paying this, so.
I don't either. I mean, I'm on your side.
But the thing is, the cash still, I mean, the money still came out of the cash, so you're not gonna be,
All we're doing is correcting the fund. It's
Right.
been spent.
you're not spending any more money by appropriating it. Still,
Go on.
it's
Balance
gone.
the account.
Yeah.
I would rather it just be cleaned up and done, so we don't have to talk
Do
about
what?
it again, the State Board of Accounts in 2 years.
I agree.
It's just not.
Because it's not gonna be as fresh.
It's
and
spent.
Yeah.
we're
I know,
gonna
it's good.
just
Makes the account look good.
Clean it up.
I'll entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion.
Ashley makes a motion to approve. Dan seconds. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Any opposed?
Okay.
Okay. Do that one last. Go to health clinic dental equipment. This is from ARPA. 20,000 for updating and replacing dental equipment. Provide low-income Decatur County residents who qualify financially, no insurance using the following. So this is going to go to the community health clinic,
Yeah.
correct, Chris? Okay. Anybody get that one? Okay. Anybody have any questions on that? Entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
Bill makes a motion to approve.
Second.
Any seconds? Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
Okay. Generator for I think communications tower on 911. Correct, 911, Gary, on where the old jail site was. At $35,798. The generator's been out, what, year,
Probably two and a half.
two and a half? That's probably something we need.
I think it runs a tower.
Any other questions? Entertain a motion to approve. Deanna makes a motion.
I second.
Ashley seconds. Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Oh, cool. ARPA, 160,000 for fairgrounds building. Fairgrounds building project. This is to be used on the new building, 160,000 from ARPA. Any questions? Any comments? Entertain a motion to approve. I say makes a motion to approve. Need a second. Only seconds. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Any opposed? Seconds up here. Going a long way. Okay. ARPA, 100,000, the Parks Department for ball diamond turf.
Danny, I got a question here.
Go right ahead.
Got 100,000 turf here, and you got 375,000. I talked to Kenny, now that can be reappropriated as needed, is that correct? That can go to the fairgrounds also if we need it there. 375.
I think it'll, correct me if I'm wrong, so it has to stay in our department.
Correct.
It has to stay in the area that it came from. So,
The way I understood it.
Is that gonna be the same way with the pickleball court money?
yeah, well, that is.
Well-
I thought we was talking 100,000.
That's over.
That's for ball diamonds.
That's the ball.
The 100,000 is just to complete a shortfall in the funding that we originally already appropriated.
Chris should put 100 in, we
Okay.
put the rest of it in. So they get their money.
Let's get the 100,000. All right, okay.
Yeah, that's a separate.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
Bill makes a motion to approve the 100,000. Melanie seconds. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Nay. $375 for pickleball courts. Save the best for last.
I guess back up when I was talking, I think that seems like a lot of money for pickleball courts.
Well,
I mean, we could use some of that for fairgrounds, I think.
there's a big project there, but the reason why it's on there is at the last meeting that we had with the ARPA committee that the new commissioners were there and they weren't necessarily okay with putting the pickleball courts in, but we have to have this money allocated by the December 31st.
But my point is,
State statute says just by that. If that funding isn't used, it can be reappropriated, but it has to be in the same area. So you couldn't reappropriate it to the fairgrounds because it's a different, it can stay in the Parks Department, to help with their projects, whatever the ball diamond projects they got coming down the road, that it can be used for that. We just gotta, it has to be reappropriated till, before the end of 2026.
So basically, if we don't vote for this, we lose that.
We reach that $375,000.
So it's either yes.
Unless you put part of it back into the fairground.
Yeah, we've already
Yeah,
advertised it for this.
advertising had to be done the 1st of December, we had all that done.
So it's not completely tied to the parks part that we can use it for the fairground.
No,
Now,
stay in the parks.
once people approve this, it has to go to the parks department, we lose it.
Yeah.
So it can't be used for anything at the fairgrounds.
No, it'd be no.
Fairgrounds asked for 250 and got 160, and then this went, that's all worked out.
So what's the other projects the parks want to do?
Well, they got additional, the front had those other phases of the ball diamonds, they need the restroom, all that stuff, they need that walking path, they got work to do on the back diamonds, and then don't know for sure what's gonna happen with the pool, so could possibly, I don't know what's gonna happen, but it could be used for that too. That building out there, if they're not gonna put a pool in, and talk about remodeling that building, and turning it into some offices and using the restrooms and where the pool house was. They could be used for that. I think down the road, we're gonna need to spend some more money out there, because I think what's gonna happen is the permit's gonna come in, we're gonna see what the revenue is and how much of a benefit that is, and we're gonna need to invest some more money. So we've got that money laying there if we need to use it.
I guess I'd like to see the fairgrounds get more money appropriated to it. I guess it's too late to do that.
Me too.
Try.
Between the RDC and the ARPA, that's, I figured, right, 1,325,000 is given to the parks department. The fairgrounds got 160,000.
And that 1.5 million was originally earmarked for the pool. So that's why most of it was given to the Parks Department. Because it's still the Parks Department. It's a different project.
So it basically boils down to whatever we don't approve today is money lost. But we can, like I said, it can be moved around later on, but it's gotta stay according to what I've been told by the state. That it has to stay in that same area.
Really?
Yeah, alcohol and.
Okay. Do we have any more? Southeastern Indiana area plan. Yeah, Rick. He was supposed to be here.
Yeah, he's in Michigan.
I pretty much told him. He said, what is it? I said, you figured it. Welcome aboard. So I think they sent a form here. We have to fill out then. You have to have Rick fill it out, don't you? Do I?
Yeah. You're right.
We need all of our signatures. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to appoint Rick Nobby to the Southern Indiana Area Plan.
I'll make that push.
Yeah, but, Ashley, second. Any discussion on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Board appointments, meeting schedule. Only thing we had, everybody get a copy. One thing we got a conflict with, I don't think it'll hurt, commissioners meeting is at 8 o'clock. We can still have ours at 10 o'clock on Tuesday, January 20th. You'll be done, won't you, Brian? Sure. Thanks, sir. I think that's the only conflict I've seen on here. Anybody else say anything? Is that okay? We have 10 o'clock first meeting, January. All right. Okay. Entertain a motion to approve the meeting schedule.
Second.
Kenny makes it, Ernie seconds. All those in favor? Any opposed? That, okay. Okay. That's all I have on the schedule. Anybody got anything for us?
Danny, I'd like to just make a comment. Working on these that I gave over the last 4 years. I'm pretty proud of what the committee's done and I thank Melanie and Deanna for their hard work. Chuck started out with us and Tony come on board. And so I think we've done a really good job of allocating that money to benefit our county and our community in a pretty big way. I think there's a lot, if you look at that list, there's a lot of stuff on there that we've been able to support over the last few years. Appreciate the council's support on that. And do it. You took that money, did well, good with it. That's my feeling.
Thank you. Yeah, but I think you did too.
Thanks to you guys.
Yeah, thanks to all you. Mel, thank you for the 4 years. Appreciate it. Really do. You were an asset. Volunteered for a lot of committees. Volunteered for a lot of other things to be done. Thank you very much. I want to thank Mel for being here. Anybody else got anything for us?
I do.
Yes. I never, I'll use that. Go ahead.
In my 8 years, it's been a pleasure to work with you guys. Oh, cash balance, nearly nothing to what you have today, and appreciate being able to work with all of you and you've done a great job. We all kind of think on the same line. I think that's good for the kids. Thank you.
Thank you. You'll be missed. Oh,
Thank you for all you've done with the county.
yes, sir.
I'll still be around.
Also,
People still have my phone number.
I got it.
Unfortunately.
Brian, you got anything for us?
Bye. It's like- Just on update on the ready funds. We gave out $10 million last year, ready funds, which was half of what our ready award was. It's pretty impressive. We're at about around 70% of what our total distribution is, which again is the league of the state. We look to have all our ready won projects completed by, or those funds distributed by the end of 2025. That's our goal. Do that. Ready 2 has already started. We've started to get some funds committed to various projects. And again, reminder, Fairgrounds being one for Decatur County. So we'll keep in contact to stay with that. If there are any changes or anything along, please keep us aware. But again, the region's really proud of what's been accomplished and what's going to be accomplished. So I said as she goes there from the EDC side, just kind of getting projects in place for 2025. We have some that.
Okay. Anybody else?
It's Janet's last.
Yeah, Jan, I'm sorry, Jan. Thank you. You've been a big help to everybody. Especially me, as dumb as I am. So I appreciate everything you've done. Okay, nothing else?
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'm all back. Merry Christmas.